People will come and make the remark when they hear my messages about um, Jesus and I are the same, or when Jesus said, "You shall do greater works than I have done," um, and if I keep saying that we are one with source God, and we are one and the same, their dualistic mind will come forward and speak just as the people in Jesus' days did when he was hung on the cross. They were saying, well, if you are the Son of God, or if you are God, come down off the cross, right? I recently had somebody ask me if I was fully manifesting and doing the greater works than Jesus. Where are the miracles? And it's the same attitude as the Pharisees in Jesus' day. It doesn't mean to have the awareness of oneness with God. Doesn't mean that you'll never die, or that nothing bad ever happens to you, that you can just whisk yourself away from every problem. It starts with a small step. Self-realization starts with a small step, and you will never entirely be rid of the egoic aspect or the masculine aspect of the logical mind that will question your divine origin. Even your own mind, especially your own mind, is going to question your divine origin, because mind will only look at the human traits that when you suffer, how can you be God? Right? Does God ever suffer? If you're all powerful, see, we have this idea of this God figure in the sky that is all powerful. And so for me to say that we are all God, we are all one with God, our mind projects and superimposes this idea that we hold of God's omnipotence and expects to see supernatural miracles. Jesus didn't always do that. In fact, when his own ego, aka the devil, was tempting him in the wilderness, he didn't turn those stones into bread. The tempter, or the ego, was saying, if you are the Son of God, turn these stones into bread, right? So it wasn't about proving anything to the world outside of us. It's more of a self-realization that functions as a buffer between the world and our inner space. Power is not meant to defeat our enemies or to show off how grandiose and powerful we are. It's not meant to be entirely self-serving. And yet, the greater works aren't done by one person doing a whole bunch of miracles. The greater work is when a whole bunch of people get this revelation and they can do the great work within themselves and save their own soul. That is the greater work in my understanding. It's not dependent on how many magic tricks you can pull off, because obviously Jesus did not do that either when he went to the cross, when he got executed, and when he was hungry in the desert. He did not give in to these taunts, the taunts of the tempter. So when you come and say, show me your your God who's shown me your divinity by performing some miracles. Jesus said of people of that mindset, an evil and adulterous generation is seeking for a sign. Because you're looking for the manifestation of God on the outside in signs and wonders, when the greater manifestation of God is on the inside, in the union of your mind and heart, and then living from a place of harmony, love, and light on the inside. The light that lights you up is the greatest miracle, because it changes, it places you in a different dimension. It places you in a higher dimension, out of this judgmental realm of good and bad, which leads to death, which leads to harm, which leads to us hurting one another, right? That's the greater miracle. Can we dissolve the judgmental, the dichotomy between our ego and our soul in our own being? Can we save ourselves from that? That is a mighty power when we actually do that, when we do that great work. So, it has nothing to do with performing a bunch of miracles like a sideshow. Yes, those things can be done, those things can be performed, and they do happen. But the greater work is the one that we do on the inside.